And good evening, football fans, and welcome to KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. It's round one of the 2025 UHSAA 5A State Football Tournament as we bring you the 16-17 matchup as the 17th-ranked Northridge Knights take on the 16th-ranked Pleasant Grove Vikings. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday to you all. Matt Coma up here in the booth. So glad you guys could join us for some Friday afternoon football. We kick off the playoffs tonight as the road to Rice Eccles begins with these first-round matchups. 24 teams making their way into the 5A playoffs. The winner of this one will take on top-seeded West a week from tonight. Northridge has won the toss. They elected to defer to the second half, so we'll see Pleasant Grove with the football to get things going here tonight. Northridge in the white uniforms with black helmets tonight. Pleasant Grove in the black uniforms, white pants, and white helmets. They move right to left to get things started here tonight. Riker Horn has this teed up. 12 minutes on the board. We are underway with the first round of the 5A playoffs, and the Vikings will field it at the 5-yard line as Ethan Passy takes it with some room out past the 30, out to the 40. And before he's met by Horn, who tracks him out of bounds, a flag flies in late, but a great start for the PG offense. As Ethan Passy able to get out to almost midfield, there is a flag on the play. Wait and see what the call is here. It's going to be a hold on the Vikings, so that'll back them up to get things started here tonight. It'll back it up to the 33-yard line. That's where the Vikings will start tonight, led on the field by the junior quarterback Connor Ybarra. Coming into the night, just over 1,600 yards passing, 9 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Had 200 yards and a touchdown last week in their regular season finale against Payson. He'll bring the PG offense out for the first time here tonight.
Hey,
11:51 to play here as they'll hand it off on first down. That's Wolfgram that gets the carry, and he's out to the 35 for a pickup of 2. Ball's loose. And it's Northridge football. Wolfgram coughed up the ball, and Northridge was on the spot. That's number 16. That's Gatlin Collier that comes up with the fumble recovery. And the Knights take over on the first play from scrimmage. So a big play there to get things started. 11:42 to go here, and Northridge will start in PG territory at the 36-yard line. And we'll see the Knights offense now out on the field. And they'll give the sweep to Dante Dyson here on the near side. Gets out past the 35 and close to the 30 before he's met by a group of Vikings near the 31-yard line for a pickup of 5. The Knights, led by Grant Slater, the senior quarterback, took over the starting job halfway through the season after Liam Fresquez went down with a knee injury. He's done for the year, so it is Grant Slater that takes over the command of the Northridge offense. 158 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win against Clearfield last week for the man at the helm of the Northridge offense. 2nd and 5. Slater to throw, taking a deep shot near side, readjusting for it was so, but it's incomplete. Good defense there by Ethan Passy, who had that long return for the Vikings. 10:58 to play here in the opening quarter. Be 3rd and 5 here for Northridge. If you're just joining us, PG got the ball to start, fumbled on the first play of the game. And that's where Northridge is taking over. They started at the 36-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5, need the 26 for a new set of downs. Mentioned the 16-17 matchup here. Both teams 4-6 on the season. Finding their strides in the second half of the season, though. Northridge has won 3 of their last 4. PG 3 of their last 5 games of the season. Has set up a screen to the far side, out of a tackle, and second attempt is there. Good tackle there by the Vikings defense. That was Bo Goodman coming out of the linebacker spot to make the tackle. It's a loss of 3. Make it 4 as it's back to the 35-yard line, 4th and long here for the Knights. So the offense going to stay out here for the Knights. Riker Horns, the kicker, is long. Is 31 on the year. He's tried from 45 as well. Just a little bit out of field goal range as the Knights go for it on fourth down. Throw far sides, intercepted. Knights with a turnover of their own on the first drive for Northridge. And it's again Ethan. It's Dexton Nuttall, number 0 with the interception. Third interception of the season for Nuttall, and it gives PG the ball back at the 42-yard line. With 10:07 to go here in our first quarter. So turnovers on both sides as Nuttall gets the interception. And we'll see the PG offense back out there. Wolfgram fumbled on the last drive for Pleasant Grove. Send a man in motion, now hand it back off, and this one's much better as they get out to midfield, make it the 49-yard line. That's number 6 in the program. That's Cohen Vose. His first carry tonight.
A 7-yard pickup, second down.
That'll be 2nd and 3 here for the Vikings. Sandvo's in motion. Now Ybarra taking it himself. He's got the first down and more into Northridge territory. And picks up a gain of about 7 to the 44-yard line.
Ybarra straight ahead for the first Vikings.
So Ybarra got their first down of the night for the Vikings. Gonna give this one, fake the handoff. Now Ybarra fights his way to the 42-yard line, pickup of 2. Pleasant Grove coming off a shutout win against Payson to close out the regular season last Wednesday, a 48-0 shutout. That was the first since 2023 for the Pleasant Grove defense. 2nd and 8 here for the Vikings. Send a man in motion to give it off back to Vos, and he's out to the 40, make it the 38-yard line. Pick up of another 2, brings up 3rd and 5. So this will bring up the first 3rd down of the game for Pleasant Grove. 8.5 minutes to go. Turnovers on both sides, an interception and a fumble so far here today. Opening up the 5A state playoffs. First round matchup here between these two schools. Winner gets top ranked West next week. Send a man in motion, fake the handoff, pressure's coming, and down goes Ybarra. In there to break it up for the Knights is Collier, who had the fumble recovery on the last one, and that brings the Vikings all the way back to midfield for 4th and long, and the punt team comes out. So 49-yard lines where they'll spot it. They'll bring the PG punting team out. Be Derek Brinton back to punt for the Vikings. Dante Dyson will be back to return for the Knights, back near his own 10. Snap. Good kick here from Brinton, and it's in and out of the hands of Dyson. He's able to pick it back up, and he's met by the Vikings at the 19-yard line. That's where the Knights will start drive number 2 tonight. 7:22 to play here in our opening quarter.
First down at the 19-yard line.
So Northridge comes back out. They got good field position on the last drive thanks to the fumble recovery. We'll see what Slater and the offense can draw up here after throwing an interception on 4th down on the last drive. Knights with one too many on the field, able to get a man on the far side. And they'll hand this one off. Trying to navigate his way is Collier, who's been everywhere so far here tonight. Picks up 1 on the run. Collier, senior linebacker and running back for the Knights. Mentioned the Knights came off a win last week against Payson. Northridge did the same in comeback fashion, scoring a last-minute touchdown to beat Clearfield on their senior night last week. Northridge 4-6, but don't let the record fool you. 8 games of their 10 have been decided by 14 points or less. Talked with head coach Andrew Fresquez before the game. Said that they were just a couple of possessions away from being 8-1 on the season, as the set handoff on second down's going nowhere, stopped at the line of scrimmage. Bring up 3rd and long for the Knights. Both teams pretty similar as it comes to stats-wise on the season. Northridge averaging about 18 points per game. Pleasant Grove the same. Defensively, averaging about the same points allowed. Northridge 21, PG 25 on the season. 3rd and 9. Slater, pressure comes, throws out of it. It's got a man on the far side. It's caught out of that's the 40. Breaks another tackle out to the 44-yard line. And that's number 3. That's Roman Fitzimanu with the reception. That's a big gain out to the 44-yard line. That's the first 3rd down conversion for either team tonight. Slater back to throw, and that one's incomplete. Intended here on the near side. Looking for Fitzimanu. That brings 2nd and 10 for Northridge. First down for either team tonight. Coming up on 5:41 to play here in quarter number 1. Three wideouts to the near, one to the far. Vikings show pressure, they bring it. Rush 6, set up the screen, and it's incomplete. Short of Fitzimanu, and they'll bring up 3rd and 10. Clock stops at 5:37 to go. And another 3rd down for the Knights. Converted once so far on this drive. Looking for the first points of the night. Need to get to the Pleasant Grove 46 for a first down. 4 wideouts in the formation again for Slater. Vikings rush 5. Slater rushing out of the pocket, looking for somewhere to go with it. Throws near side. And that's caught at about the 48-yard line. Bannon Green with the catch, but it's well short of the line. It'll be 4th and about 3. And here comes the punt unit for the Knights.
4th down and 3.
So the Knights going to try and pin the Vikings deep into their territory. Horn also doing the punting duties tonight for the Knights. Dexton Nuttall's back at his own 14-yard line for the Vikings. Good snap, good hold, and a good kick here as Nuttall will field it at the 12-yard line before immediately going down, and a flag flies. That was number 15, Bannon Green, on the tackle. Let's see what the call is. As Nuttall was tackled immediately on that one. We're waiting to see what the call is here. It's a personal foul face mask on the Knights. That will give the Vikings 15 yards. They'll start at their own 27-yard line is where they'll start. .5:21 to play in the opening quarter. Still no score here between the Knights and the Vikings. First ever meeting between these two schools. PG going back to the 1950s as a school. First down, take the handoff. Ibarra far sides and complete. Intended on that far side, looking for Vose. 5:18 to go in the opening quarter. Mentioned first meeting. This is the 26th first round game for the Knights in school history. 11-14 in first round games all time as a school. Pleasant Grove, it's their 41st first round game since the 1950 season. 21-19, the record for the Vikings in opening round games in the playoffs. The Vikings send a man in motion on second down. A high snap handled by Ibarra, looking for somewhere to go. Now flushed out of the pocket. Takes it himself out past the 30. Stiff arm to the 35 and out of bounds at the 39. That's enough for a first down. Ibarra with the longest play from scrimmage tonight for PG. Gain of 12 on that one. It's a new set of downs, and the Vikings quickly back to the line. Hand it back off. Vose is met right at the line of scrimmage. There's a flag back in the backfield in the Northridge end of the field. So see what the call is here. Flag flew as soon as the snap was launched there. And it's an illegal substitution on the Knights. They didn't get the substitution there. Too many men on the field. And we'll move the chains up 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 5 here for the Vikings with 5:04 to go. From the 44-yard line, Knights show pressure. They'll hand it off to Vose, and Vose able to kind of twist his way towards the first down marker. Spotted the 48-yard line. He's a yard shy. Second and 1 here for the Vikings. 4.5 minutes to go. Third drive of the game for the Vikings. A fumble and a punt so far for PG. Second and 1. Send Brinton in motion. Now handoff back to Vose, and he's got the first down out to the 49.
Straight ahead. Picks up 2 yards for another Viking.
Now and enough to move the chains. PG quickly back to the line, 1st and 10. Second first down of the drive. They hand this one off. Flag flies at the snap again as Vose gets it about 5 yards.
Again, tackled by number 50.
We saw Wolfgram on the first carry. Had the fumble on the first one. It's been all Cohen Vose so far. And it's another penalty. It's another one against the Knights. And that'll be a 5-yard penalty. Another 1st and 5 on the drive here for Pleasant Grove. 4 minutes exactly to go and the clock starts after the penalty. Second time in Northridge territory tonight for Pleasant Grove. And another flag right at the snap here. And this one's a false start. It'll back up the Vikings right where they were.
Give those 5 yards back.
So back to 1st and 10 after the penalties on both sides. .49-yard line's where it's spotted. 1st and 10, coming up on 3.5 minutes to go first quarter. High snap to Ibarra, and able to get it over to Vose, and he has to make lemons out of lemonade on that one as he gets about a yard. They spot him at the 48-yard line. It brings up 2nd and 9.
Tackled by Mackay Soho. Picks up a yard.
So 2nd and 9. Upcoming here for Pleasant Grove. .253 and counting. 2nd and 9 here. 3 wideouts to the right. High snap goes past Ibarra, and Ibarra collects it at the 37. Now rushing out of it, and he goes down. Getting in the backfield, Owen Ellsworth with a big loss for the Vikings. And it will bring up 3rd and very long. Second time the Knights have gotten in the backfield tonight. As we bring in my counterpart, Brian Brown. Brian, you made it just in time to see a big defensive play.
Yeah, I got here right at the same time that the defensive traffic for Pleasant Grove got there. Just a great play, timely play, forces Northridge into a 3rd and now very, very long. This is a difficult situation because as a coach, you don't want to just make a play call to try and get yards to pick up the 1st down. You don't want to screw something up here.
So a loss of 17 on that high snap and tackle. Brings up 3rd and 27 now for the Vikings. Empty backfield as Ibarra checks it down in and out of the hands of Tavake Wolfgram. And that will bring up 4th down, and the punt unit comes out. So Brian, catching you up here as we'll catch up our fans that are watching as well. You're just joining us late. Pleasant Grove got the ball to start, fumbled on the first play of the game. Northridge decided to go for it on 4th down on the ensuing drive through an interception. Then we've had a couple of punts so far, and now we're seeing the second punt of the day for the Vikings.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what is intriguing about this matchup is 2 very even matched teams that have had kind of up and down seasons. Which one can break through and make plays today? As you see, that punt does not go as much in the direction that Pleasant Grove was hoping.
It goes out of bounds near midfield. We'll see where the officials spotted on the far side.
1st down, Northridge.
The line judge makes his walk and stops at the 47-yard line for Northridge. That's where they'll start with 1:35 to play here in our opening quarter. Northridge, an interception and a punt on their first 2 drives of the game. Again, the 16-17 matchup here. Technically on paper, the closest matchup of the 5A first round.
2 teams that are both excited to be in playoffs, but also wanting to make their mark early on here.
Handoff on 1st down's going nowhere. The Vikings sniff it out in the backfield. Number 21 for the Vikings, Cannon Smith with a stop behind the line. Loss of 2.
And you can see right there just trying to find something on the outside in the handoff, and just a great job there by that Pleasant Grove defense. Seeking out the ball carrier, being disciplined, using good tackling technique, bringing him down for a loss. And now for Northridge, behind in the sticks, you got to be thinking, what can we do to make it 3rd and doable?
2nd and 12 after the loss. As Slater over the middle, in and out of the hands of Jacobson, or excuse me, that's number 15 Green on the other side. It's incomplete, and it'll bring up 3rd and long here for the Knights. Neither offense has really found their footing so far in this one. The defenses have shown up to play here so far tonight.
Yeah, and that may end up being the story of this game, right, Matt? 2 teams that have had, again, this up and down season. You see Region 5, very competitive. A lot of good teams up there.
Region 7 as well.
Same thing, right? and you have this big disparity. So 2 teams that are really seeking some confidence, and I think that's most critical on the offensive side of the ball.
3rd and 12, need the PG 43-yard line for a 1st down. Slater going to let it rip. Got Soho on the near side, and it's overthrown incomplete. With 44.9 to go. Now it'll bring up 4th down, and the punt unit comes back out for Northridge.
And you can see how important it's going to be to try and generate yardage on 1st and 2nd down. Northridge could never get caught up in the sticks game. Now they're going to have to punt. You hope that you get good execution on the special teams. When you're scuffling like this and guys are trying to make a play, this is when you really start to grip as a coach and you start to get nervous. You want to make sure everybody stays calm and executes.
Horn on to kick this one away at his own 30. Nuttles at his own 20, waiting this one for Pleasant Grove. His line drive kick almost blocked. Gets a Northridge bounce, though, over to the left-hand side near the 20 line. Maybe the 21-yard line. That's where it'll stop with 34.2 to go here in the first quarter. So an interesting first probably a minute and a half of the game, and then we've seen nothing but punts, 2 on either side.
In first-round playoff games, it's always this roller coaster of emotion, right? Both teams coming out fired up, They want to show that they belong here. They want to prove that they're good enough to make it on to the next round and potentially further. Then that emotion starts to settle, and you see this more even-keeled back-and-forth game.
So Pleasant Grove starts at their own 21-yard line, 1st and 10. Empty backfield now as Vose goes to the right.
Ooh.
And we got whistles, and it's offside. Another penalty on Northridge.
If only the freeze move was enough to get the officials to not throw the flag. But again, high school rules. Anytime you cross that neutral zone, it is an automatic offsides. Saw the Northridge player get across, just never had a chance once he crossed that line.
So for the 3rd time today already, 1st and 5 for Pleasant Grove. Again, empty backfield, and again, the Knights jump. And that'll be a new set of downs for the Vikings.
Offsides again.
Yeah, 10 yards gained on penalties alone. I think if you're this Pleasant Grove coaching staff, that's a huge win. You know, it's something to get your offense a little bit of breathing room, opens up the play call sheet just a little bit more. More than anything, I think it gives your offense that feeling that they can move the football here.
So move it up another 5 yards. 1st and 10 from the 31 now for Pleasant Grove. Again, Vose in motion. 5 wideouts here for Ibarra. Changes the play call. Man, in motion, Ibarra's going to keep it himself. He's got a lane up the left side, gets out of a tackle, he's got the 1st down to the 42. And where the clock will stop, and Ibarra with another long gain. That's his 2nd one of more than 10 yards today.
Yeah, credit to the offensive line. They did a good job of opening up that hole. Ibarra, a nifty runner, able to pick up the 1st down. Now they're up in tempo, looking to try and take advantage of that.
Gain of 11 to the 42, 1st and 10. About 15 seconds left in the 1st quarter. Have time for one more play here for Pleasant Grove. 3 to the near, 2 to the, 3 to the far, 2 to the nearest. That was thrown into triple coverage and broken up. Good defense there from Makai So'o to break it up. Intended for Ryder Huntsman.
Yeah, Huntsman does a good job to get hands on the football alone. Again, you mentioned Ibarra throwing into multiple defenders there, and you love the fearlessness. If you're going to throw that ball, you've really got to put some zip on it. Make sure that your guy is the only guy who can catch it. Thankfully, Huntsman able to get some hands on it. He's the only one. If it would have bounced, that would have been a very opportunistic play for that Northridge defense. 2nd
and 10, 2 seconds left here in the 1st quarter, as though we'll hand this one off, and Vose will get to the 45 and no further, and that will wrap up 12 minutes here from Pleasant Grove High School.
As the 1st quarter ends.
1st quarter of the 5A state playoffs in the books here. No score between the Knights and the Vikings. We'll take a break and be right back. You're watching the 5A state football playoffs on KSL Sports Rewind. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's see the Wasatch Front as the sun starts to set here on a Friday night. Early games with the playoffs starting. Had a couple of games start at 3, a lot of them starting at 5 o'clock today. As you can see, we're looking directly in the sun here from Pleasant Grove High School. One of the very rare east or west-facing stadiums here in the state.
The rare west-facing press box, still a beautiful view. So we like to say no bad views here in the state. It might be different if you're Coach LePan after you watch that play and you wish that they could have gotten more yards on that one, but certainly scenic.
Only a gain of 1 on that one. 4th down upcoming, 4th and 6, and the punt unit's going to come back out for Pleasant Grove.
Yeah, and listen, it's just little things in the execution game now for both sides, right? Offensive linemen not getting off blocks and getting to the next level, not getting enough push, not opening up creases enough, and you know, that starts to compound, especially when you're not moving the football.
So Brenton back out to punt. So'o is back at his own 20. And flags fly. No, timeout called by the Vikings. That'll be their first. And we'll take the timeout as well here.
Timeout.
Just the 1st minute gone of the 2nd quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on KSL Sports Rewind. Welcome back. Seeing the far end of the Wasatch Front down on the other side of Utah Lake over there to the south. Brian, our cameraman, giving us these awesome views from Pleasant Grove High School tonight. I'm surrounded by Brians tonight. Brian at my left, Brian at my right.
Ooh.
High snap again as Brinson has to just pick it up. Knights are in pursuit, and they will get him in the backfield. At the 37-yard line goes Brinson. And this will set up Northridge with their, I believe, their best. They'll be tied with their best field possession or field starting position of the game tonight.
Yeah, huge opportunity for Northridge to try and capitalize on the great field position here. You see the miscue, and you see that the long snapper was a little bit high previously when Coach LePan called timeout. I wonder if maybe they tried to calm him down a little bit, get some technique going. Long snapping is one of those things where it is so specific. You always want to try and coach that up, but a lot of times it's just what's happening upstairs in the player's head.
So the Knights start at the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. They give it to the running back. Andrew Ortiz with his first carry of the day. Picks up 1.
Yeah, just a great job there at Pleasant Grove of executing despite the fact that they had some defenders that were coming a little bit early. Didn't cross that threshold, that neutral zone necessarily, but coming from depth, threatening the blitz, just great get off there, able to make the tackle for minimal gain.
So 2nd and 9 upcoming here. Second quarter, still no score here in round 1. Knights send a man in motion, then hand it back off to Ortiz, and he's met at the maybe the 36-yard line there. Good tackle by number 45 for the Vikings. That's Ryan Ross with the tackle.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell the Northridge offensive line the same thing that I tell my 9-year-old Little League team. We got to keep our feet moving on that one, right? It's defenders that are just able to get off blocks and reach out and make a tackle with their arms. You know, you stay engaged on that one, you're going to get more movement. Those holes are going to start to open up. Northridge really needs to do something right here, Matt. And we love it's the announcer's favorite. It's a critical 3rd down, right? But they need to do something right now to try and get some points and take advantage of this field position.
The whole 1 for 3 tonight is the Knights' offense on 3rd down. Need the 27-yard line for a 1st down. Pressure comes, and Slater stays in the pocket, reaching out for that one. And incomplete was Green. And that will bring up 4th down.
Oh, it's like riding a roller coaster at Lagoon, right? You see the tip ball, and you see it hit the receiver's hands. You have hope he might be able to do something with it. Not able to reel it in. Great job of bringing pressure there from that Pleasant Grove defensive front. And so far, they're really owning the defensive side of the line of scrimmage.
So for the 2nd time today, Northridge decides to keep its offense out on 4th down. Threw an interception the last time on that opening drive of the game, and we have lots of movement at the line. Be interesting to see who this one's on.
I don't know if we can call that trickeration as much as it's, that's the kind of coaching that when you're trying to generate a play, you're emphasizing that kind of thing where you're looking over the sideline. Nobody's in a stance, so it's not necessarily a false start, right? It's just a motion to look over to the sideline. You can see the officials are huddling up here to discuss it. This is one of those areas where you wonder if Coach Frest might have mentioned pregame that they had something like that installed, just to be clear. And you love that the officiating crew wants to get this one right, but this is turning into, I talked about it being a cliche, now it's becoming a pretty critical play.
Well, it's a big deal as well. We talked with Coach Fresquez before the game. He said that his kicker, he feels confident from 60, but he's not going to let him kick from 60.
Right.
But 5 yards could be a difference between, what would it be now, a 50-some-odd yard field goal and a 40-something yard field goal. That's a 5-yard penalty on the offense. They call the false start, though.
Yeah, and I'll let the people, the couch coaches at home tell me if that's the right or the wrong call. I see it from both sides, right? You're not set, so you're not technically in a false start motion. There are a lot of players that are moving. If you're not set, then can you really draw the defense off sides? It's probably one of those gray areas in the rule book.
So once again, the punt unit comes back out. It'll be the 3rd punt of the game for the Knights. Not all waiting at his 10-yard line. Good snap, and Horn gets this one way up in the air. Over on that right-hand side, takes a Northridge bounce towards the goal line and over the line. And that'll be a touchback.
I mean, you talk about how individual play can influence things. You see one of the upbacks just a step out of position, forces the punter to pull up just a little bit early on his follow-through. Nevertheless, gets the ball away, able to get a bounce, but just not able to get his punt team down there in time to recover. Just as a coach, you're hoping for one of those plays to break in your favor, right? That ball to kick out of bounds at the 1, just anything to where you can start to capitalize, not only build some momentum, but get some confidence.
So 9:26 to play to halftime. Pleasant Grove gets the ball back. It's been a fumble, 2 punts, and a fumbled snap on a punt for a turnover on downs tonight for the PG offense.
Able to get something in the run game earlier. We'll see if they go back to the QB run game here.
Got 2 backs in the backfield with Ibarra, and we're going to get a timeout, number 2 in the first half here for the Vikings. Timeout here. We'll take the timeout as well. No score, 9:26 to play here in the second quarter.
With a Tab Spend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. Tab Spend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
$9:26 to go here at Vikings Stadium, here on the campus of Pleasant Grove High. The Vikings doing just enough to earn a home game in the first round. They got the last home berth in the playoffs as the 16 seed. Mentioned winning 3 of their last 5. The Vikings, after starting 0-3 on the season. Northridge did the same thing. As Ibarra. Long balls loose again, and it's back to the 10. As it's been issues in the backfield for Pleasant Grove tonight. Another big loss as the ball's out to the 10-yard line. There'll be a loss of 10.
Yeah, and this is the part when you're, I don't want to call it a slump necessarily because you're mid-game, but you're trying to generate something to give your team confidence. You know, these are teams that have played the best of the best, and they've been, I don't want to say beaten down, but they've had to endure a lot, right? Especially when you know what elite talent looks like. So you want to keep your guys confident, and so you're trying to call anything you can to make that happen.
Both these teams have seen some of the top teams in 5A over the course of the season. As Ibarra's going to fake it, another triple option here, and they throw with a pass near side. How about the trickeration from the Vikings? Rocky Wilcox out to midfield.
Well, it's not quite a Philly special, but it's a nice little pitch back on the deep pass. Great job by Rocky Wilcox to reel it in and pick up a massive gain for the Pleasant Grove Vikings.
Gain of 36 on the trick play from the PG offense. 1st and 10 at the 46. Fake the handoff, throw near side, and collected by Huntsman out to midfield. How about that? It was a little razzle-dazzle to get the drive started after the big loss.
Yeah, it's a really bold call by Coach LePan there, and like a lot of head coaches in the state, he is also the coordinator, the offensive coordinator, the play caller. I love the call and the aggressiveness, right? The trust in your guys. Make that throw. As a coach, you're always just hoping that it goes in your favor. This time it does for Pleasant Grove, and
so
Northridge takes a timeout here,
and
they're trying to stem that momentum.
We'll take the timeout as well. 8:16 to play. It'll be 2nd and 6 upcoming for the Vikings. 8:16 to go. No score here in Viking country. PG with the ball at midfield for 2nd and 6. As Brian mentioned, Northridge with the timeout there first of the first half.
My bike's not getting over.
2 backs in the backfield. That one's a fake handoff, throw deep, looking for Huntsman, and he's got a catch. Into the red zone go the Vikings. That is a 30-yard pitch and catch.
2 monster big gains on this drive. We know that explosive plays usually lead to scores. The great ball by Connor Ibarra finds his receiver Huntsman nearly in stride, able to pick up the big gain and the first down.
First trip to the red zone for either team today. First and 10 from the 20. Give the handoff to Vos. He gets out of a tackle. It's got room up the near side. And there goes Wolfgram to the pylon. No signal yet. And it's a touchdown for the Vikings.
Tavake Wolfram finds a corner, and then he finds the end zone next as he sprints his way to put the Vikings ahead here early, 6-0. Great job, great drive, great response by this Pleasant Grove football team.
First points of the day belong to Tavake Wolfgram. 20-yard run. As Joaquin Oberhansley on for the extra point for Pleasant Grove.
As we wait for players to get set, a good opportunity to mention no play clock on the field.
Back judge giving the time as the Vikings get the snap off. Kick is up, and it is good with 7:43 to play here in the second quarter. The Vikings on the board, 7-0 here in this first round 5A playoff game.
Yeah, it's just a simple, maybe outside zone, kind of looked like inside zone, and Wolfgram just does a nice job of bouncing it outside, finding that crease. And then once he saw the edge, he's got the speed to get in the end zone, dives in, and you see the official taking his time to, never really made a signal, but we just kind of all assumed that was 6, and so it goes on the scoreboard. And these officials do a good job of making calls and paying attention to 1,000 different things that we don't even know or think about. Grateful for their participation, and one thing I will say, if you've ever thought about officiating, 1, why? But 2, go do it. Great opportunity to learn more about the game of football and be involved.
Oberhansley on to kick this one away. Oh, excuse me, that's number 30 for the Vikings. To kick it away is, here comes Dante Dyson with some speed. Dyson through the first level, and Dyson has one man to beat. He'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Northridge.
Dante Dyson saw what Pleasant Grove did and said, you know what? Not today, Vikings. I'm going to take this for a house call. He goes all the way into the end zone for 6. And just like that, Matt, we have a scoring explosion on our hands here in the game. Pending this PAT, we're almost even again. This is what I love about football. At any moment, craziness can explode.
Dante Dyson taking it all the way for the touchdown. Horns on for the extra point to try and even this thing up. Kick is up. It's good. And how about the response from the Knights? 7:28 to play. We're back tied at 7.
Yeah, you love to see it. And the special teams no less. Talked about it all since I got here on the broadcast anyway. You wanted to try and generate some plays to get some confidence. You see Dante Dyson just sees that crease there, and as soon as he does, he's got the confidence to hit the afterburners. And no doubt about it, like the jets that fly by near Northridge, he was roaring into the end zone, and just like that, Northridge back in this game. Now they're going to send their defense back out there, and then you always worry about that a little bit if you're a coach, especially, what's the mentality of your defense after Pleasant Grove got 2 big plays? And they're going to get a chance to prove that right here.
How about this for the Knights? That's their first kickoff return for a touchdown this season. If Dante Dyson gets it done. Dyson, one of the top receivers, leads the team in receiving touchdowns with 5.
He's an explosive player. You can see the speed. He's outran everybody.
Horn's got it teed up at his own 40. See how Pleasant Grove responds here. And this one won't make the end zone, maybe. Ooh. And it doesn't. And here come the Vikings. as that is out to near the 40. Ethan Passy out to the 39. Looked like he stepped in the end zone there, but they let him play.
Yeah, it almost looked like they looked over at the official to see if he could come out, waiting for a whistle, and when there was none, went ahead and went. And that puts those Northridge defenders in a bit of a crux, right? Because you think that the guy's gone all the way back in the end zone, allows them to get good field position here. And thankfully for Northridge, able to bring him down before the damage is too extensive, but now it's on this defense to step up and try and limit some of those big plays that Pleasant Grove was able to generate the drive previous.
So Vikings coming back out, scored on their last drive. Wolfgram with the touchdown run. Vose goes in motion. Ibarra looks that way. Vose has got it out to the 45 and met by the Knights near the 47-yard line for a pickup of 8.
Yeah, it's just a simple swing pass. Just great blocking downfield. As you can see, they're almost 5 to 7 yards down and able to pick up a good chunk there on first down for Pleasant Grove. That allows, again, I like to say probably too much, as the full usage of your playbook, right? So you see those giant call sheets. There's always a section for second and short.
Spotted back at the 46 for 2nd and 3 here for the Vikings. Knights show pressure. Ibarra stays in the pocket, throws near side, incomplete. Good pursuit there by the Northridge defense.
Yeah, it certainly was, and I tell you what, it was that field side linebacker coming on the blitz. I think it was number 16, if I'm not mistaken. Did a great job of getting in the backfield, applying the pressure. Ibarra not able to get the ball off cleanly. Shout out to Gatlin Collier with the pressure on that one.
It's already got a sack tonight for this Collier. 0 for 4 on 3rd down today are the Vikings. This is their 5th attempt. Needed 3 yards as Ibarra keeps it, and he runs right into the defense. He'll be short of the line to gain. That was number 6, I believe, for the Knights. Ortiz, the normal running back / linebacker, come back and get the play.
Yeah, just great job by that Northridge defense of staying stout, staying home, reading their keys, and being aggressive. You see them attack the ball carrier, limiting him from picking up that first down. And now Pleasant Grove, it looks like, is going to go for this one.
They're a yard short.
Maybe not.
Here. Be the first time they will have gone for it on 4th down. Northridge has gone for it twice so far here today. Or excuse me, once. They changed their mind on the timeout. As they hand this one off to Vose. Vose right at the line to gain. It depends on the spot. It looks like they gave it to him. As he gets out to midfield, it's a first down.
Yeah, it did look like the forward momentum carried him for the first down, but I tell you what, we're starting to see life, pads popping, and energy coming into this game, Matt. Nice run there by Vose. So Northridge wanted to get the stop, but they're playing aggressively. They just need to squeeze a little bit more out of it.
And so gain of 2, game moves the chains to midfield. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. 2 wideouts near side. High snap again. Ibarra's going to take it himself. Gets out of the first man and wrapped up at the 45. Good shiftiness there from the quarterback, able to gain 5 yards.
Absolutely. You can see Ibarra's great with his legs and able to shake the defender. Just tries to come down square, just not able to come down in time. And Ibarra capitalized that. Sprinkles a little sugar, as my wide receivers coach in high school used to say, and he's up there for about a 4-yard gain, which could have been a 4-yard loss.
Call it 4 yards there for 2nd and 6 now upcoming. So they spread out 4 wideouts here.
Maybe 3 in a hook.
Northridge stacks the line. High snap, Ibarra able to hold on to it, gives it to Wolfgram, and Wolfgram's going nowhere. Good stop there by J.P. Maffey, one of the sophomore defensive linemen.
It absolutely was. Maffey did a great job of reading his keys. It's an option. It's almost like a midline for those old school folks that understand option the way I do. He does a great job of just reading the keys, staying on his man, making the tackle. And sometimes when you're the quarterback, you just have to give the football there. Northridge does a good job of limiting any kind of game.
How about this for a defensive lineman sack regarding Maffey? He's got 2 sacks and an interception on the season as a defensive lineman.
That's the dream right there for any big guy.
3rd and 7 here for the Vikings. Take the handoff, now give it off to Huntsman, and Huntsman lunges for the first down. Ball's out! Ball loose near the 32. And it's Northridge football, their second fumble recovery of the game.
Boy, what a roller coaster of emotions on that one. You see Huntsman take the pitch on the sweep. It's little trickeration, a little play off the big play we saw earlier. Gets the few yards, but just not able to contain the football at the end of the play as he's dragged down, and were no whistles. Northridge able to recover. You see the officials are congregating there. I'm not sure what they're discussing. It looked from our vantage point that it was a clear Northridge recovery. They should have the football here.
Second fumble recovery of the game for Northridge, out to the 33-yard line now. It's where the Knights will start, tied at 7 here. Slater dumps it off near side, navigating his way through, and a big hit to the 35. Good tackle there by number 3 for the Vikings. Derek Brinton coming up and making the hit.
And nice job by Brinton there of navigating the traffic and finding the ball carrier, almost like a heat-seeking missile, the way that he chased down the receiver. Limits any kind of gain, any big gain there.
Sion Kumar was the one who got the catch. He's got the carry here on second down, and Kumar's out to the 37-yard line, calling in a 1.
And for Northridge, it's this battle in the trenches is one that they want to start winning, because you can't always throw to the outside. You're going to have to generate some yardage in the rush game up front. And fans who watch at home and think, why are they still running the football? You want to wear down that defense as much as you possibly can.
3rd and 6 for the Knights, 1 for 4 tonight on 3rd down. Vikings bring pressure. They'll dump it off to Kumar on the far side, and Kumar's out to the 42, just shy of the line to gain. That was Adam Wright with the tackle, and it'll be 4th and short here for Northridge.
And it was a nice job of Wright bringing him down short of the sticks. Kumar did a good job of navigating a few defenders, making them miss. Comes inside and cuts back outside. Northridge able to drag him down.
Northridge looking like they're going to go for it here. 4th and 1. 0 for 1 on 4th down today. Handoff and a pooch punt by Slater. Nobody back there for Pleasant Grove, as the Knights will let this bounce, and it will settle at the 28-yard line with 1:58 to go to halftime. Again, apologies on the clock. It's trying to get as close as we can. It's a moving clock. It's not synced up with the scoreboard, unfortunately. Hopefully we get that technology soon.
They tell me that they have the technology. We keep it pretty low tech in our operations. There's no review screens up here, no multicam operations. AI has not invaded our space yet.
Not just yet. 1:58 to play. 1 timeout left for the Vikings here with 1st and 10. Flag is thrown, as multiple flags are thrown. 1 in the backfield, 1 in around the 40-yard line of Northridge.
We'll wait and see what the official calls are here. One of those territories where it looks like it could either be offsetting penalties in different areas of the field. It's definitely not flags for the same call, I'm sure of that.
Offsetting penalties is the call. You were right, Brian. Holding and a pass interference. The offsetting penalties will replay 1st down.
In other news, a blind mouse finds cheese.
Or a blind squirrel finds an acorn.
Yeah.
That's usually my go-to.
There you go.
So we'll replay the down. This time with 1:52 to play to the halftime break. Vikings would love to get some points on the board, as Northridge will get the ball to start the second half. Far side, caught by Vos, and Vos is to the 34-yard line. Before he's met by the Knights defense. Clock runs 1:40 and counting.
Yeah, I think the big thing is that Pleasant Grove's able to generate yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and what I mean by that is he's catching the ball 3 or 4 yards downfield, so even though he's getting met almost immediately upon reception, they're already ahead of the sticks, and that's helping them in terms of field position. One thing to watch is as the shadows come over the field, how that affects things.
Sun starting to set down here in Pleasant Grove as Ibarra's out of the pocket, got room near side, he's going to take it and got the first down out of bounds at the 44-yard line is where the Hills spot it. Gain of 10, and then more importantly, stops the clock with 1:10 to go.
Yeah, Connor Ibarra really good with his legs, and you see that he's not afraid to use them as a threat, and we'll see how that does as they head into the second half, and Northridge will obviously try to adjust to that, maybe bring out the illustrious QB spy that everybody loves to talk about.
Ibarra leading, or second leading rusher on the team heading into the playoffs, as that one's over to Wolfgram, who is the leading rusher on the team.
And both players very shifty. They've got that extra twitch to them. Able to make defenders miss even if they're in position.
Fast far side. Trying to navigate. Gets out of a first tackle near the line to gain. See where they spot him. They're going to blow it dead.
Graham Robinson.
Is it a timeout or is it for the move the chains? It is a timeout for Pleasant Grove.
To the first down marker.
I believe that'll be Pleasant Grove's final timeout of the half as well. If I'm not mistaken.
That is their final timeout.
Going to be a yard short.
42 seconds to go. They do mark it just short of the line. Again, to be 3rd and inches here. Coming for the Vikings. We'll keep it here for this timeout. 42.5 left to go to halftime here. Brian's, you got 3rd and short here. Now you're out of timeouts. You need probably another 10, 15 yards to get into field goal range. What's the game plan here?
Well, the big red flag is the fact that you don't have any timeouts left. So if you're going to run the ball, you got to make sure you've got something ready to go for the next play call, right? You're going to get some stoppage if you get the first down, but I would look to throw something to the sideline, something quick out-ish, anything like that. You may look to get a slant in, but guys have to get up and get on the ball.
Need to get to about the 22, maybe the 27-yard line to get into field goal range for Oberhansley as they'll hand this one off.
No.
Fake the handoff, and Ibarra's going down. Northridge gets in the backfield. Mafi again is there. He's his first sack of the night.
Mafi has been impressive all game long, but it's even bigger of a play right there. Probably the one thing that you didn't want to do was take a sack. And that's going to force Pleasant Grove into scramble action, but clock is ticking away.
It's 4th down as well here for Pleasant Grove. Ibarra over the middle's caught right at the line to gain. They get the first down at the 35 or 45, but the clock's going to run. That was Carter Wilkes on the catch. Clock stops at 12 seconds.
First down Vikings.
As they wait to set the chains here, now they go. Clock running to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. They're going to run a play. Ibarra taking a shot for the end zone. It's got Huntsman out there. Incomplete. And the clock runs to zeros.
Well, it's the old adage, when chaos hits, throw it up. You see, Ibarra finds one of his favorite targets, Huntsman, out there, just not able to reel that one in. And for Northridge, you're wiping the sweat off your brow because that could have been a monster play right before the half. And both these teams are going to go to halftime after what was a real, I can't think of a better word than roller coaster of a first half, in lulls and then the highs and the lows. It's everything you expect in a high school football playoff game.
So we've reached halftime of round 1 of the 5A state football playoffs. We are tied at 7 here at Pleasant Grove High School. We'll take the halftime break. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with the second half action in this first round matchup between Northridge and Pleasant Grove. It's the Knights 7, Vikings 7 as we head to the halftime break. We'll be back right here on KSL Sports Rewind. Pleasant Grove and Northridge, first round of the 5A state football playoffs. Matt Coma, Brian Brown with you here tonight. Brian, we saw a defensive battle, then spurts of offense there to end the half. It's 7-7 here. What stood out to you in the first 24 minutes?
Well, I think it was two teams trying to figure things out in the first half, and really in a very similar manner. Two very evenly matched squads in terms of talent, records, the journey that they've gone on to get here, really. And in that first half, it was a lot of feeling each other out and trying to decide how you were going to go about beating these teams, and we saw, in essence, two different routes taken. Pleasant Grove, two big explosive plays, got them a touchdown, and then we saw Northridge answer right back with a tremendous special teams return. Dyson run that one all the way back into the end zone after Wolfgram scored the touchdown for Pleasant Grove, and now thankfully for us, that sun's going to set.
We're about like maybe 10 minutes away from it setting on that side. We can see what's going on the field.
I know everybody at home's like, why are they complaining about the sun? Well, it is directly in the eyes, and so
we are up here above the press box here, so it's been a beautiful night. I'd say the sun's starting to set. It's getting a little bit cooler as the sun starts to set. It's been perfect football weather, though.
Yeah, and realistically, what this is it's an advertisement for you to come out and watch a game at Pleasant Grove. Scenery is spectacular. See the lights starting to turn on here now, and we're getting back to action, and I think you're going to see a lot less of that tentative style play that we saw in the first half, and a lot more of two teams that are ready to lay it all on the line and try and survive to advance.
So Pleasant Grove's got this teed up, a little squib kick to start the second half. Fielded by the Knights, and out to the 30 goes Green for the Knights, and that's where Northridge will set up. They have no offensive points tonight. They have the one kick returned by Dante Dyson in response to the PG touchdown. What needs to happen for Northridge to get things going on offense?
Really, they need to find a rhythm offensively, and whether it's in the run game or the passing game, I think they need to just pick a lane in that regards and try and generate some movement. That's really struggled to get movement in the run game or get movement up and down the field.
Send Dyson in motion, and everybody's moving before the snap. This will be a false start on the Knights.
I thought as part of that, you want to get Dante Dyson involved in it. We saw that game-breaking ability that he has, and very first play looked like you were trying to use him a little bit as a decoy player, maybe catch the defense flowing with him and come back the other direction, but unfortunately too much movement up front. We'll start this one over again.
So it'll be first and 15 at the 26-yard line. Send Dyson in motion again. Vikings show pressure. They give it to Dyson far side. Gets out of the first tackle and back to the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit by the Pleasant Grove defense for a stop of one.
Yeah, great job by whoever the backside defender was on the blitz. Actually made pursuit all the way to the end of the play, but you can see what I was talking about, trying to get the ball into Dante Dyson's hands. It's a little dicey as the pass looks like it actually goes backwards. He ends up getting positive yardage out of it. Didn't look like there was a ton there. And for Northridge, it's about finding ways to get him the ball as much as possible here in the second half.
So we mentioned that first half, leads the team in receiving touchdowns is Dyson. 5 wideouts here for Grant Slater. Trying to set up a screen to Dyson near side. He's got some room and finds a block, and look out. He showcased the speed on the kick return. Now trying to take it to the house. He does. Touchdown, Northridge.
Talk about afterburners on that one, Matt. He takes the screen pass, he finds a lane, and he is in flight immediately after that, avoids the last-second attempts to try and tackle him as he scampers into the end zone. Dante Dyson has this Northridge unit flying high right now. That was a play that they absolutely needed coming out of halftime.
73 yards goes Dante Dyson for the first offensive points of the night for the Knights. Riker Horn on for the extra point. Boots it through, and it's good. And with 10:59 to play in the third quarter, the Knights with their first lead of the day. They lead 14-7 here in this first round matchup.
Well, and that's a great comfort if you're this Northridge defense, right? Now you're playing with a lead, allows you to be a little bit more aggressive against that Pleasant Grove offense, and it's an offense that we've seen use some trickeration, use some misdirection, trying to get that defense confused in order to generate yardage. You have to wonder how many more of those plays do they have in the bag. At some point in time, you're going to have to line up and just beat a guy head-to-head. That really becomes the task at hand for both of these squads in the second half here.
So that is a 3-play drive that took all of 54 seconds, 56 seconds of a math's correct?
Yeah, if we're being honest, it was a 1-play drive, right? Because everything else was a little bit not up to par.
Took the false start penalty, got 1 yard, and then Dyson took off in a hurry.
Yeah. I have a feeling that we're going to call his name a lot more here in the second half.
Now 6 receiving touchdowns on the season to lead Northridge as Horn sets this one off. This one will make it to the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Not all can't believe it, but he was a step into the end zone. Now we'll see PG on offense. They were starting to get it clicking on offense in that second quarter. They got the touchdown from Wolfgram. What do they need to do to keep building on it?
I think it's Wolfgram and Ibarra, right? They're matchup nightmares for this Northridge defense with the shiftiness, their ability to make plays with that quick twitch ability. And you use that to your advantage. You know, you saw a lot of misdirection, multiple pitches, things of that nature, and that's part of this pistol offense that they run. But really, I think it's getting the ball in Ibarra and Wolfgram's hands, trying to get him to the edge, trying to get him in an open field where they can get chunk yards.
So 1st and 10 for the Vikings. 20-yard line is where they'll start. Their first drive here in the second half. Ibarra far side, connects with his man in Wolfgram on the far side. I believe that's, no, that is not Wolfgram. Can't see the numbers just exactly. I can see the 1. I think that's number 10. That would be Finau Hafoka with the catch. Picks up 6, 2nd and 4. Three wideouts to the near side. Ibarra staying in the pocket. Fires over the middle and out of the hands. Graham Robinson, that's who it was that had the catch on that first one.
Thank you, Graham.
Hard to make those numbers out there, but number 18 in the program. Go out of his hands there.
Number 1 in Graham's family's hearts, though. We'll give him credit for that. He made a nice reception there. Simple drag route. Not able to make the completion on that one, but you're still 3rd in average here. We like to call it third and brown bear.
It's been a while.
Might be time to retire that guy.
3rd and 5. Ibarra near side. Intercepted. It is intercepted. Makai So getting in front of the passing lane, and a 3rd turnover generated by the Northridge defense.
Boy, that was an impressive play by Makai So there as he gets his hands on the ball, but he maintains possession through the completion of the catch, gets the interception, now puts this Northridge Knights football team in excellent position, Matt, to try and get some points. This has been an outstanding start for Northridge and for that Pleasant Grove offense. Worst case scenario.
So this is the 3rd time tonight that Northridge has started in PG territory. They have 0 points out of those first 2 drives. They're looking to capitalize on it, up by 7 here, 10:21 to go. 1st and 10 at the 27. Slater, far side, looking for Dyson, incomplete. Well, a little off. Now is number 24 for the Vikings. Ryder Huntsman in pass coverage.
And for Slater, a little bit of a looper out there. You just really want to see him step through and drive that football a little bit more so you can catch Dyson as he's coming out of his break. It's one of those things that sometimes it takes a little bit of time to develop that rhythm even in game. And I know people watching at home who played Madden their entire lives are stupefied how that can even be. And I'm telling you, it takes some time.
So incomplete pass will bring up 2nd and 10 here for Northridge. Handoff to Ortiz on 2nd down. That one's met right at the line. That one is number 73 for the Vikings, Jackson Mortensen with the tackle.
And it was actually a good job of Ortiz just getting back to the line of scrimmages. Pleasant Grove brought a defender off the edge, had a decent angle. Ortiz cuts it back inside, able to get back or near the line of scrimmage. And could have been a 2 or 3 yard loss at this point in time for Northridge, though. You're 3rd and long regardless. Have to weigh the options. Do you really want to take a shot here, try and pick it up, or do you want to play it safe and conservative and just try and get in field goal range?
Northridge 1 for 5 on 3rd down in the first half. 3rd and 9. Pass over the middle is caught. Good defense, though, by the Vikings. Rylan Rude with the catch, and Bo Goodman with the tackle for 4th down.
Well, I'll give a shout-out to Rylan Rude for that catch. He had multiple defenders on him, and really what he did is he put Northridge in the middle of the field. Wasn't a monster gain, but he does a good job securing the football, gets in the middle of the field, allows them a good opportunity to get points off the turnover.
So we'll see Riker Horn on for the field goal here. His long on the season's 31. We talked with Coach Fresquez before the game. Has faith in his kicker from distance in this one. This will be from 43. Almost right in the center of the field. Line drives, kick, got plenty of distance. Off the upright, though. Off the left upright, no good. With 8:46 to go, it stays a 7-point game.
And what has been a game that is becoming a game with everything in it. Riker Horn adding a little bit to that one. You can hear the thump as the ball comes off his foot. He's clearly got a strong leg. As you mentioned, just a little bit too much ball and not enough underneath it. And that one takes a hit off the upright. We talk about college kickers. High school kickers can be even more difficult to predict.
So 8:46 to go here, third quarter. It stays 14-7. PG comes back out after throwing the interception on the last drive. 2 wideouts to the near, 2 to the far. Send man in motion. Fake the handoff. Now give it off to Huntsman, who's ready to throw. Goes deep near side and almost intercepted. In coverage for the Knights was Carson Murphy, intended for Carter Wilkes.
Carter Wilkes was the intended receiver.
And no sunshine for Wilkes to really lose the ball on that one. There is kind of a little bit of a lighting situation where we're at dusk and those lights aren't really starting to make an impact, and so you can lose the ball a little bit. I think the bigger situation with that was Huntsman was under duress, and a great job making an adjustment there by Northridge, maybe sensing that could be coming here in the second half. Much better defense that time around.
2nd and 10, fake the handoff. Ibarra with pressure coming up the middle, and down he goes. Ryland Rude, first one there.
I didn't want to make the joke on the reception, but he was a rude boy on that play. He collapsed that Pleasant Grove offensive line, gets the sack, but he had plenty of mates there.
And we have an injured Viking down at the 10-yard line. I believe that's Ibarra.
Yeah. And for Pleasant Grove, that would be a devastating injury just because Ibarra is such a potent part of their offensive attack.
All right, so as they take a look at Ibarra, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. 8:23 to go here on KSL Sports Rewind. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Sun setting here from Pleasant Grove. Connor Ibarra able to get up under his own power, making his way back to the sideline. Good to see him back up, but it will have to be another quarterback that goes in here for the Vikings. Here's what I was going to mention after that last throw from Huntsman. They've had 8 different guys throw the football in the season. They've used that trick play with a couple of different players. So we'll see who's going to be at the helm here for quarterback. It looks like it's going to be number 12, Drake Stanley, that goes in. With 8:23 to play, it's going to be 3rd and very long, 3rd and 20 after the loss.
The tight end isn't eligible. The point guy.
One wide out near side. Yes. Quick throw to the far side is caught by Vose and gets back to the 18-yard line, well short of the first down. It'll be 4th and 12 here.
8 yards.
Almost a play just to try and get your quarterback a little bit of a rhythm throw, an easy throw. Let him see a completion, right, after the monster loss and the injury to Ibarra. Talk about minimizing risk. You know, it's not just about your portfolio or your 401k. You also want it to be on offense.
Low snap for Brinson, just gets it away. Line drive kick is going to take a Pleasant Grove bounce all the way down inside the 30, spotted at the 29-yard line. About a 50-yard punt there
29-yard line. First down
for Derek Brinson. That stops the clock with 7:40 to play.
Have you ever hit a drive in golf? And I've been talking a lot about golf for somebody who doesn't play golf that much anymore, but sometimes you hit those line drivers and it just catches a nice bounce. It's exactly what happened on that play. Wolfgram downs it inside the 30-yard line. Great job of flipping the field there by Pleasant Grove.
1st and 10, Northridge, 29-yard line. 2 drives on offense so far this half. Had the big touchdown to Dyson, and false start here is going to be the call. Mentioned had the long touchdown and then a missed field goal. So Northridge has been able to move the ball a little bit. They get the long touchdown run. They had the interception, put them in field goal range on the other drive.
Yeah, they've been able to move the ball through some explosive plays, especially that screen pass to Dyson. They haven't been able to do, Matt, is sustain a drive. And this would be a great opportunity for them, up 14-7, to put it together a drive.
Pass near sides, collected by Green, and Green's out to the 30, just past the original line of scrimmage. They spot him right at it, 29-yard line, pick up a 5.
With the reception tackled by Ethan Passy.
Green, a big target out there, able to reel that one in, and picks up the 5 yards they lost on the false start. And had you not made that miscue, and this is where you can understand why coaches lose their minds on the sideline when you see penalties.
Bunch wide receivers on the left-hand side as that one over the far side, juggled and caught. Braxton Featherstone's first catch of the night. Picks up 9, it'll be 3rd and short.
So nice, he caught it twice on that one. And as I was saying, coaches drive themselves crazy when they see those mistakes, but they love it when players make plays like that. Braxton Featherstone better get an extra helping of ice cream when he gets home tonight. That was a great double catch.
3rd and 1 here for the Northridge Knights. Sent Rude right under the snap. He's going to be right at the line trying to take it. PG read it all the way, though, as they stopped him right at the line. Maybe loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, one of those situations where you're trying to take advantage of a defense, and this is just a really well-coached defensive unit here for Pleasant Grove. They were ready for it, and you're going to see Northridge trot out the punt team. A quick 3-and-out for them. They're going to try and flip the field, and now becomes the battle of trying not to lose the game, right? You don't want to be the team that makes the mistake that causes the other team to get either a bigger lead or get back into it.
Horn back to punt. Nuttall at his own 30 for Pleasant Grove. Good snap this time. Horn able to get it away. Good end-over-end kick. It's going to land at the 31, take a Pleasant Grove bounce to the 32-yard line. The clock stops, 5:28 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
First down, Vikings.
So Pleasant Grove gets the ball back down by 7 here. They had an interception and a punt so far here in the second half. Again, it's been more along the throw, but more importantly, we'll see if Ibarra is able to go back out there or not. He did. He is out there wearing that number 2.
You'd love to see a senior leader gutting it out. Excuse me. Ibarra's just a junior. My mistake, but still.
Not a lot of seniors on this PG team. They're going to be good next year. It's a little late shove out of bounds. That's going to be a personal foul on Northridge.
And genuinely, I kind of understand it because Tavaki Wolfgram is a bit of a pest in the run game. And it's not that he's out there trying to be mean or aggressive or enticing anything like that. He's just really hard to tackle. And you see the frustration come out a little bit as he gets shoved out of bounds late, and that's going to be a nice pickup there for Pleasant Grove. We define an explosive play as 15 yards or more typically, and that's an explosive play, and the penalty for Northridge, it's one of those self-inflicted plays that you just cannot afford.
So the penalty on Northridge moves the Vikings out to midfield. It's a personal foul for the late hit out of bounds. 1st and 10. Ibarra himself this time. Rounds the corner, lowers the shoulder, and picks up 6.
And you see him pretty spry out there running. We didn't see exactly what the injury was. He was walking off the field really slowly, but whatever it is, he's mentally powering through it, and not just mentally, but physically powering through defenders as well on that play.
Mentioned the youth of this PG team. Ibarra, just a junior. You mentioned Wolfgram and how pesky he is. He's just a sophomore. He leads the team in rushing. Very young team here that the Vikings have under Jeremy Lepan. First season under the helm here at Pleasant Grove. 2nd and 4. Throw near side, in and out of the hands of Bose, incomplete.
Yeah, one of those plays that you see the defender coming off the edge for Northridge there, number 16, Gatlin Collier, called his name a couple of times tonight, made a decision, and Ibarra finds Vose. He was in open field, just forgot one thing, to catch the football on that one.
The incomplete pass brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 4 for the Vikings. 0 for 1 here in the second half. Send a man in motion. Ibarra, pocket collapsing, able to escape, but a hold might be the call as a flag flies. He slides at the 35, but we'll wait to see what the flag is back in midfield.
I think it was big number 77, Quincy Lovett, that drew the holding penalty on that one as he shucks the offensive player at the very end. Ibarra starting to scramble, and this one is definitely coming back, Matt, and as an former offensive lineman, not exactly a huge fan of the holding penalty, but even I can acknowledge that one was probably legit.
Back it up to the 45.5-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 14 now for the Vikings. Need to get to the 40-yard line for a first down. Send Wilcox in motion, fake the handoff. Ibarra steps up, throws over the middle, had 2 receivers there in Huntsman and Wolfgram. Neither one is able to connect with it, and it brings up 4th down.
You have to wonder whatever the injury was. That was a pass that Connor Ibarra was hitting in the first half, right? And that one splits the difference almost between those 2 defenders. Have to wonder if maybe that injury didn't factor into it just a little bit. And now Pleasant Grove, who has not exactly executed perfectly here in the punt game, is going to turn this one back over to Northridge. We'll see what they can get out of it here.
Good snap this time for Brenton as he hits a high punt. Well played. Dyson lets it go, and it's going to be great. A great punt for Pleasant Grove as they down it at the 5. And that's where Northridge will set up shop. 3:59 to go here in the 3rd quarter. It'll be a 95-yard field here for the Knights.
You either bless them or you curse them when you mention something ahead of a play, right? And that one I think we blessed. I blessed that Pleasant Grove punt team. Great job by Brenton. He's got a big leg. Like, something always stands out every season, right? This year, there's a lot of punting and kicking talent in the state of Utah.
There is.
I know that's a weird thing to say, but we got guys who can boot him from 60 on every roster.
Well, and here's the great thing about Pleasant Grove, too. Derek Brenton, he's on the roster as a linebacker and tight end. Yeah. He's not even listed as a punter.
Yeah, he's like a Hunter the punter from BYU, and I know a Utah fan isn't supposed to make that reference, but...
Northridge 1st and 10. They try to set up the screen here on 1st down, and look out! A perfectly weighted screen for the Knights. And taking it all the way, Makai Solo, 95-yard touchdown. No flags.
No flags, no problem. When you get the ball in the hands of Makai Solo, he is a weapon. He takes that one 97 yards, 95 yards, excuse me. Almost untouched. It looked like they had him back there, but he was having none of that one, and scampers all the way for the big play touchdown.
How about that? That's 2 screen passes for touchdowns tonight for Northridge. They had the long one, 73 yards to Dyson, now a 95 yards to Soho.
Big plays today have been a monster factor for this Northridge offense. Gives them a 2-touchdown lead now, and I tell you, I thought they had that one dead to rights. Makai So'o somehow manages to avoid any kind of tackles. Not only that, he avoids everything on his sprint to the end zone. A super impressive play for the senior. Also had that incredible interception earlier for these seniors where it's basically do or die. You love to see a guy like that making plays so that he goes out the way he wants to, no matter what the result is.
For So'o, that's his 4th receiving touchdown of the season. Only trailing Dante Dyson, who has the other one.
You can see both of them speedsters, and I think they take advantage of Now, that screen pass, it's so much about eye discipline, and at any level that's difficult, right? Especially at the high school level. It's like me in the kitchen. You just don't want to snatch the cookie. And sometimes those defenders go after it and chase it a little bit too much. Tried to chase.
Well, how about the guts to throw a screen pass inside your own 5-yard line there?
A gutsy call by Coach Frestis. And you look, Grant Slater did a great job of dragging the defense towards him and making the play.
Short kick this time is going to be fielded by the Vikings at their own 5-yard line. Do they have a response here? Passy thinks he does. He's out past the 40, out to midfield, and another big return for the PG special teams unit.
And that's a spark that Pleasant Grove needed. Cassie does a nice job. It's actually pretty well blocked as well. Has a little lane. Just couldn't outrun that last little bit of coverage there as he crosses the 50-yard line, but it's going to put Pleasant Grove, as he approaches the 50-yard line.
Yep.
But it's going to put Pleasant Grove in great position here to try and generate some offense and get back into this with a score.
They spot him at the 47-yard line. That's where Pleasant Grove will take over. Needing some points. They scored in the late second quarter. That's their only points tonight. Now trailing by 14. Man in motion, fake the handoff. Ibarra with some room near side, cuts his way upfield and gets to the 46-yard line. The pickup of 7.
A little teaching point there. You see the lead blocker gets way far outside, and that's really how you teach that. You don't want to bog down a player by giving him too much to think about when they're out lead blocking. Had he hesitated a little bit, he may have been able to sift some of the defense coming across. Would have been a bigger game, but nevertheless, Pleasant Grove gets the 7 yards, puts them in second and short here.
2nd and 3. Sending right in motion. They go that way on the screen, and it's red immediately, but good hustle there. And pick up a 1 on that one. That's number 43, Safita Kaloy with the tackle.
The reception and a 1-yard pickup.
Ends up to being a 1-yard pickup. Looked like it was dead in the backfield.
Yeah, it did, and credit to number 9 there. Did a great job. I believe that was Adam Wright on the reception. Jamoy on the tackle, but Wright did a good job of dragging, I think, multiple Northridge defenders before he finally went down.
3rd and 2 here. Knights with 5 at the line, now back off. Play clock approaching 10. So Ibarra will give this one off. And it's out to the 40, first down for the Vikings. As that is Vos that gets the extra yards. Moves the chains for Pleasant Grove.
Really like that call from Coach LePan. He kind of catches that Northridge defense. They've been getting upfield, hit them with a little cross action, a little misdirection out of the handoff, and Vos takes it for the first down, a little bit more. Now Pleasant Grove starting to feel that momentum, starting to feel that confidence build on this drive.
Under 2 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. PG on the move into Northridge territory. First time this half. They have a late substitution there. Wolfgram comes in. Read option. Ibarra keeps it, and he will be met at about the 37-yard line. Picks up 3.
You've seen that action, trying to get the defense flowing, and the quarterback has the option to pull and get upfield quickly as soon as he sees a gap. It's a good job of getting 3 to 4 yards there, and that is really the crux of this Pleasant Grove's offense is you want to get defenders flowing and create space. You just don't have the guys up front like some of the bigger schools do. So that's how you create gaps.
2nd and 7. Hand off to Vos, and he's got a little bit of room. Flag flies as he breaks a tackle and dragged down at the 14-yard line, but a flag flies back near the line of scrimmage.
And we actually got 2 flags out there. I have no idea if it's for the same penalty. Looked like they're flagging a hold on the inside. I did not see the hold. It's a great job by Vos of cutting back. The play was designed to go to the right. He stops on a dime, gets back to the left side, finds a big crease. Unfortunately, the extra hug from the Pleasant Grove offensive lineman is going to wipe out that big game.
Holding is the call on Pleasant Grove. Back them up to the Northridge 47-yard line. 2nd and 17 approaching. So what would have been a good run for Vos is wiped out with the holding call.
And something that Pleasant Grove has been doing is bringing in extra offensive linemen, very similar to what you see sometimes in the NFL. Utah has done it at times this year. That one, it was costly.
Ibarra over to far side. It's got a man out there and out to the 36-yard line. It was number 32. That's Rocky Wilcox. It'll be third and manageable here. Maybe one more play here. 20 seconds left. PJ quickly to the line. 3rd and 6. Bad snap. Ball back all the way to the 45. Ibarra collects it. Looking for somewhere to go. He throws it short. Out of the pocket. Able to get rid of it.
So
I was going to say, that's intentional grounding, isn't it?
So I think this is the discussion. Was there a receiver in the area, and it did look like number 22 was in the zone, so the ball does not have to cross the line of scrimmage in that regard, right? He is outside the pocket. Normally would have to just throw that and air it out. I think that was the discussion that the officials had.
Threw it way short of, well short of the line of scrimmage. The referees do say 4th down, no flag for intentional grounding. So 4th and 6 here for Pleasant Grove. 8 seconds left in the quarter.
Really heady play by Ibarra to save. Could have been a monster loss. I actually do believe he saw the receiver coming back, and that's why he threw the football.
First time going for it on 4th down here for Pleasant Grove. Need the 30 for a first down. Ibarra fires near side, and it's collected by the Vikings. Carter Wilkes with the first down at the 23-yard line. And that will move the chains, and that will end the third quarter.
And a great play to end that third quarter as you see Ibarra drops back and throws a dart in there to Wilcox. He's able to secure the catch. Most importantly, holds on to the football. You see those defenders trying to rip it out. Gets the first down.
3 quarters in the books here from Pleasant Grove High School. The Vikings on the move, trailing by 14. So we head to the final quarter. One team's moving on to the second round. One team is going home. We'll find out in the next 12 minutes. After 3, it's the Knights 21, the Vikings 7. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
At a tab spend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. Tab Spend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
How beautiful is that view? The sun setting on a Friday night, first round of the playoffs here in the state of Utah. Glad you guys could join us tonight. Matt Coma, Brian Brown on a picture-perfect Friday night. Halloween 1 week away. Getting close to the season's changing here in Utah.
And beautiful time of year. The weather is awesome tonight. Just light jacket weather.
1st and 10 for the Vikings as they pitch it to Featherstone, and Featherstone's got the 20, and just a little bit past that. No, they'll spot him at the 20-yard line for a pick of a 3.
It's a nice job by the defender there from Northridge, setting the edge. You don't want to let him get to the outside. It's almost like Little League style. The first guy to the corner, to the edge, can get upfield, spills back inside, so you still get some yardage gain, but you limit the big play.
2nd and 7 from the 20. Pleasant Grove in need of points, down 14 to start the 4th quarter. Ibarra keeps, has blockers ahead, but only a gain of 2. Good pursuit there from the Northridge defense to not allow Ibarra to get out into space.
Yeah, not a big gain, and he's navigating traffic. It's a good job there by Northridge of flowing to that corner and that edge. You can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to get outside, use Ibarra's speed. They want to get points. They want to get points quickly.
3rd and 5 now for the Vikings. Need a 13-yard line for a first down. Ibarra to throw. Has time. Throws far sides. Collected at the 15. Spot at the 14. For Adam Wright, it's going to be right at the line. It's short. 4th and short coming up here.
Well, it's not enough right on that one, I think, a little bit, because talked about earlier, the rhythm of throwing. You see Ibarra hesitates just a half second, not able to hit right in stride. That allows the defender to close that gap quickly, and tackles him short of the first down marker. And now Pleasant Grove, in what is a must-have fourth down, they really need to convert this, man. I can't convey that too much.
They definitely need points. Down 2 scores here for 4th and 1 for the Vikings. Handoff. Wolfgram pushes the pile, and he didn't get it. No. That is ruled short, and the Northridge defense holds.
Monster stop by the Northridge Knights when they needed one the most. Pleasant Grove had started to capture some momentum, some rhythm, held them to a fourth down there, and then they get the stop. It's just a simple up-the-middle run. The stoutness of that Northridge defense, nothing allowed. Now they'll get the ball back, and Matt, we've seen them backed up twice already. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another big play for a touchdown here.
Start at the 14-yard line for this drive, as they'll give it to Dyson on the end around, and Dyson's going nowhere. Good stop by the PG defense that time. No gain.
And at this point in the game, really the goal for Northridge with a 14-point lead is not so much to get another touchdown as it is to lower that clock. And I think you'll see a lot more in the run game. I think you're going to see a lot more possession-style football. I don't know if we see more screen passes so much in the middle screen area, but we'll wait and see what Coach Fresk has in mind.
They spread it out here, 2nd and 9 after the pick of a 1. Hand it off. Ortiz out to the 22-yard line, picks up 2. Brings up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, just a little RPO action there. You see the quarterback gives. Ortiz able to cut it up inside, pick up a couple yards there. Good job there by that Pleasant Grove defense of closing quickly.
Approaching 9 minutes to go in this game. Northridge with a 2-score lead. If you're just joining us, long touchdown runs from Dante Dyson and Makai So'o have been the difference so far here tonight. Flag flies at the snap. Slater with all kinds of time, throws into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. Another flag flies, though. And that might negate both of these penalties.
Yeah, we'll see what it was. Again, there's no such thing as a neutral zone infraction high school level, so the play would have been blown dead if it was offsides, if I'm not mistaken. So that makes me think that maybe it was a procedure or a motion penalty.
We'll see what the call is here. Flag in the backfield. It's an illegal shift on Northridge and pass interference on Pleasant Grove. They'll offset and we'll replay 3rd down. What a big break for the Knights.
It really is. And again, just the things that you can control, right? It's that extra grab, that extra early contact, things of that nature that can really just doom you. And luckily for Pleasant Grove, the pass interference isn't a super impactful penalty, but the downside is that they had an interception off of it.
Vikings would have had the ball at the 35-yard line with the interception, but the penalties cross out. And we'll replay 3rd and 7. 3 wideouts to the left for Slater. Ortiz in the backfield. Motion Ortiz to the left, set up the screen. So'o able to fight out, and he's going to be just shy, maybe right at the line here for Northridge.
And that one will be close, and I like that action there from Northridge, actually get numbers to that side.
They do give him the first down. He had just enough to move the chains.
Yeah, you saw that defender from Pleasant Grove kind of trying to decide if he wanted to commit fully to go over there or not. Wasn't sure. Just a great call there by Coach Freska's his offense to overload to one side and allows them to pick up the first down.
Approaching 8 minutes to go now here, as Northridge has a new set of downs. 4 wideouts this time. Dyson in motion, and flag flies again. It'll be another probably illegal shift here on Northridge as Ortiz gets the carry.
It did look like they had 2 players in motion at the snap there. I do think this one's going to go back. Regardless, didn't have a whole lot there anyways, and again, the task at hand for Northridge is getting that clock as low as possible with a 2-touchdown lead. They're up 21-7 right now. The last thing that you want to do is give the ball back to Pleasant Grove, try and let them score.
So it is an illegal shift on Northridge. It'll back it up to the 19-yard line. 1st and 15. As the clock will start winding again. Now coming up on 7:40 to go. 3 to the right, 1 to the left for Slater. Vikings rush 4. Slater with all kinds of time. Throw to Dyson and another interception. And another flag. Adam Wright with the interception this time. And this one might stand for the Vikings.
I agree, Matt. I think this one's going to stand. It's same area of the field where the flag comes in. Some kind of motion, but I believe Wright will maintain that position. We'll see what the officials are huddling about
here. It's a chop block on Northridge. It's 1st down, Pleasant Grove. The interception holds for Adam Wright.
Monster play by Adam Wright. Gets his hands on the football, secures it as he's going to the ground, puts Pleasant Grove right back where they started with an opportunity to score.
2nd interception of the season for Adam Wright. Now, big one for PG. They now have 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Down 2 scores, 7:24 to play. Handoff to Ibarra, keeps it this time actually, and he gets 1 yard.
Yeah, Wolfgram did a good job on the fake.
Faked me out.
Yeah, had me for a little bit too. I just want to circle back. Adam Wright, again, a senior, been in this program for a while, making a big play in what could very well be his final game. You absolutely love to see those things now. Gives Pleasant Grove an opportunity to try and go get a score.
2nd and 9. Ibarra with time. Going to take a shot for the end zone, and Dyson breaks it up. Intended for Huntsman on the far corner, and it brings up 3rd down.
And Huntsman almost ended up playing the defender on that one. Ball just a little bit inside, and we'll say the air has gotten cooler, and so that does change how the ball floats and goes throughout the course of the game. It's substantially cooler. We're easily 15, 20 degrees cooler than we were at kickoff. So something to monitor here as we close out this game.
Official readout, 55 degrees at the moment.
This is why I love broadcasting with you. Always prepared.
About 65 when we started, so about 10 degrees cooler, but a big 3rd down here for Pleasant Grove.
I was way off.
They will hand it off. And fighting his way to the 17-yard line. That's Drew Jensen, first carry tonight. And it'll bring up 4th and 6 here, and the PG offense has no choice but to go for it.
At this point in the game, you have to go for it, and a lot of credit to this Northridge defense. They've done an excellent job outside of the one drive where they gave up the 2 explosive plays. They have limited this Pleasant Grove offense. It's been very tenacious.
Turned it over on downs on the last drive. They need 6 here to keep the drive alive. Ibarra over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Wilcox, and it's another turnover on downs, the 3rd of the night for Pleasant Grove.
Had a receiver, just not able to make the completion happen, and on that one, it's just a tough situation as you turn the ball back over. Not able to take advantage of the great play by Adam Wright there, and we're going to ask your defense one more time to try and get a stop here with about 6 minutes left. No more than 6 minutes.
6:15 reads the clock. 1st and 10 now for Northridge at their own 17. The Knights just over 6 minutes away from a date with West next week. Looking for back-to-back years with opening round playoff wins. 4 wide outs, handoff to Ortiz near side. And Ortiz navigates and stays in bounds. Good tackle there by Bo Goodman to keep him in bounds.
Andrew Ortiz.
6 minutes to go, and a timeout's going to be called. I believe timeout's going to be called, and it is on Pleasant Grove. They'll call the timeout with 5:59 to play here in the 4th quarter. We'll take the timeout as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on KSL Sports Rewind. 5:59 to play. Here in the 4th quarter, the Knights with a 21-7 lead. here on KSL Sports Rewind. Beautiful night down here in Pleasant Grove. Reminder to join us next week. We'll have the second round of the 6A and 5A playoffs here on KSL Sports Rewind. A lot of great matchups throughout the state next week. We'll be in a couple of them on to spend your Halloween with some little playoff football next Friday night.
That's my favorite part about spooky season is more football. I'm not a haunted house guy. Defenses are scary enough for me, yeah.
You're more of a football guy. 2nd and 12 after the timeout. Pleasant Grove with 2 timeouts left here. Bring a man in motion, and they'll give it off to So'o, and So'o tries to get the corner, and he's wrestled down by Derek Brinton, and it'll be timeout number 2 for the Vikings. Stop the clock with 5:58 to go.
I've been really impressed with Brinton tonight. He's done it on offense, defense, special teams. You mentioned he's the punter. A bit of a throwback where he does a little bit of everything and makes the tackle on that play. And talked about it a little bit in the break where why is Pleasant Grove taking timeouts this early? And it's not so much about the clock as much as it is possession, right? You're not going to get 2 more possessions. You need 2 possessions. And so what you're going to try and do is stop them here, get the ball back, and hopefully get an onside kick so that you maintain possession of the ball throughout as you're trying to fight your way back into this one.
While we're here, let's take a look at some of the other scores around the 5A playoffs. The other side of this quadrant that has West, the winner of this one, West Jordan will take on the winner of Clearfield and Bountiful. The Red Hawks all over Clearfield, 56-6. That game's still going in the 4th quarter. The Red Hawks looking like they're going to have a date at West Jordan next week. Olympus all over Cypress, 42-0 in the 2nd quarter. Spanish Forks all over Hunter, 35-0. Tie game between Viewmont and Westfield at the half, 21 apiece. No score yet from Taylorsville and Granger.
Yeah, don't sleep on those Viewmont Vikings. They're a feisty program, and I know that Coach Jones has Westfield playing hard in their 2nd year.
Lots of reverses here on this play for the Knights, trying to get the first down out to the corner. It's going to be right at it. It's out of bounds at the 26. It's going to be a yard short.
Oof.
A little taste of their own medicine, the razzle-dazzle from the Knights.
Yeah, and listen, interesting there that Pleasant Grove probably sees that all the time in practice, right? And a little bit surprised by that one. Multiple defenders just not able to make the tackle. They do finally get the player out of bounds for short, but Northridge lined up. I wonder if we see the pooch punt here.
4th and 1 here for Northridge. And they are going to bring the bunt unit up.
Yeah, so not even a pooch punt. What it was is just trying to draw them offside.
I've seen so many substitutions in this game from the line of scrimmage, and they're going to be a timeout for Northridge.
Yeah, and I love the enthusiasm from Coach Frescas, thinking that they were going to be able to shuffle all that off. Did mention early in the broadcast there are no play clocks down on the field, right? So you have no idea really how much time officials keeping it there. I think Coach realized, you know what, it's not worth the 5-yard penalty at this point in time. Let's just call the timeout, make sure we get everything in line. I like the thought process from my end because in my limited scope of coaching, punting is one of those situations where you can get 3 results and 2 of them are not good.
Yeah. One other final score from 5A. Timpview has defeated Wasatch 40-15, so we get to see an Orem-Timpview rivalry rematch in the 2nd round next Friday.
I expect that'll be a feisty game, even if the talent may tip a little bit more in the favor of Orem. It's a tough season for Timpview, a lot of changes during the offseason, and you never want to count any team out, especially at the high school level in a rivalry game.
Should see we'll see another region rivalry. Spanish Fork and Springville look like they're destined to meet in the 2nd round again.
Well, good luck with that Springville rushing attack.
As the Northridge punting unit's on. Nuttall at his own 40. Has to wave it for a fair catch and catches it at the 41-yard line. That's where PG will start. And it's do or die time here for the Vikings. 5:44 to play, down 2 scores. You burned 2 of your timeouts on that drive. They got to move in and do it in a hurry.
Yeah, they do, but luckily able to conserve that 1 timeout just in case, and plenty of time on the clock here, so you don't have to necessarily be 2-minute offense, but you want to be up-tempo. So you may see some running plays. It's okay. Don't need to get too anxious if you're watching at home. You're a Pleasant Grove fan, although I don't know why you would be. It's beautiful here.
New quarterback in for the Vikings as well, as it's thrown over the middle, incomplete, intended for Wilcox. As Drake Stanley's back in there at quarterback for the Vikings.
And you wonder if maybe that change is due to the injury earlier to Ibarra. Just never seemed to find a rhythm in the throw game, right? Now, where it's going to be a lot more passing, a lot more tempo, a lot more rhythm. Let's see what the philosophy is behind that QB change. You hope you can get warm quick.
2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the season for Stanley.
And you mentioned it, Matt. There's a lot of a lot of players on this team that have thrown passes.
Yeah, a lot of the wide receivers and running backs have thrown passes for this PG offense. It'll be Stanley's turn on second down. Takes a deep shot in a double coverage, and it's incomplete. That one intended. Looks like that was for Nuttall. And it brings up third down.
And Stanley throws a nice ball there. He just throws it at 2 defenders, and receiver not able to get there in time. Ball falls incomplete, and for Pleasant Grove, kind of okay with that one, because with 2 guys in the coverage, you wonder if maybe that one would have been able to be intercepted.
Need the 49-yard line for a first down. Try to set up the screen. It's ball's loose, and ball's on the ground. They say incomplete pass. Oh, that was almost intercepted by the defensive line of Northridge.
Nearly a Heisman Trophy moment there. Would have been we'll call it a big guy touchdown had he been able to reel that one in, but just not only able to do that, Matt. I think the bigger story here is that where the ball ended up is not where the ball is going to be placed. It's placed back to the line of scrimmage, and so just 10 yards to pick up here for Pleasant Grove. What could have been disastrous 4th and very long.
They ruled it an incomplete pass. This is 4th and 10. 5 wideouts. Stanley, pocket and collapsing, ball is out. Northridge has it. 4th turnover of the game for the defense, and Northridge with a big stop.
This Northridge defense has been absolutely outstanding in the second half. Tough as nails. You see them put the pressure on. Stanley tries to step up in the pocket and just gets hit, loses the football, and again, talk about the thought process. That's the one downside to putting in a quarterback that hasn't been playing all game. They're just not quite in the flow yet, and fortunately Pleasant Grove turns the ball over. Now, the upside is there's still 5:22 left on the clock, and so if you can hold here, you will get the ball back with time remaining.
Here's the stat line for you tonight. Heading into the playoffs, Northridge has caused 2 fumbles and recovered them. They have 3 tonight.
Wow.
At the interception, 4 turnovers for the Northridge defense, and they are 5:22 away from making it to the next round, but a little bit of a disaster there as they take a knee on the bad snap. Clock will run, but it'll be 2nd and very long here for the Knights.
Yeah, and I think it was an inadvertent knee, just trying to pick up the football, if I'm not mistaken, on that one. So that's a pretty substantial loss now, and I think the reason that's significant, Matt, is because if you're Northridge, you have to pick up this first down, right? You can't be turning the ball right back over to Pleasant Grove while you have the ball in possession. You can wind that clock.
Vikings can only stop the clock one more time. It's 2nd and long, 2nd and 16. Near midfield. Northridge going to burn as much time as they can here. Vikings stack the box, and running is Carson Murphy this time, and went out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
A nice job there as Pleasant Grove making defensive adjustments to the field side, and then Northridge runs into the boundary being the short side or the near side of the field for us on the broadcast. See, they're able to get good numbers and pick up a good chunk of that lost yardage.
So 3rd and 11 here for Northridge. Clock stops at 4:30. As it is Carson Murphy that's in there at quarterback now for Northridge. And on the end around to So'o, and So'o gets out of a tackle, out of another one close to the line. He's going to be again 2 yards shy And Pleasant Grove will burn its third and final timeout with 4:23 to go.
First down marker.
And fourth down coming.
Now comes everybody's favorite game. What would you do, or you make the call, I guess would be the more appropriate name here in football. If you're Northridge, would you go for it here, Matt?
A conversion problem doesn't kill the game, but it does put a huge dent in the clock if you can get the fourth down. They do have a kicker that can hit from this range. He missed one off the uprights in that third quarter. I don't know. This one's tough.
This is why I asked you the question, because I knew you'd lay it out there for everybody.
I just say what's on the field. I'm not paid to do analytics.
We got multiple people up in the booth saying, go for it, go for it.
They need to get to the 31-yard line. It's 4th and 2.
Yeah, I don't want to make any analytics reference from games previous last week, but I think this is an opportunity where you can go for it, right? Your defense has been outstanding in the second half. You trust them. Pleasant Grove has to drive the length of the field still, so they're going to use up a lot of clock. So I would go for it here. I like the idea of making sure that you're all on the same page and that you have a call that you like, especially when you brought in a different quarterback.
Everyone at the line here.
Uh-oh.
The heavy package. They're going to give it to Rude on the carry. He looks like he's got it, and he does. He's got 2 yards for a first down.
We may have had some insider information up here.
The defensive lineman / tight end is the one that gets the carry, and he gets the first down.
I mentioned earlier on the broadcast, he's no longer a rude boy. He is a rude man. That was a rude run for a big first down. And again, talk about analytics, but feel for the game. I think that was just a great call. And clearly, Coach Frescas and his staff were well prepared for the moment.
Had 7 carries in the regular season, did Rude. He's had 2 big ones tonight. Has a touchdown on his tally as well on the season. So 3:45 and counting here. 1st and 10. No more timeouts for Pleasant Grove. They'll hand this one off. And to the 29 it goes.
Yeah, who needs the tush push when we can just hand the ball off to the defensive lineman? I love that.
It's kind of like what we saw from Utah in the rivalry game last week. We had one of the offensive linemen out there catching passes.
Simi Tolonga, it's a freshman out of California, Modern Day High School, if I'm not mistaken. He's an impressive athlete, a guy that I actually watched his film early on and was very impressed by. But to your point, Matt, you're seeing a lot of these defensive linemen that have that ability, that have great footwork, that have a little bit of twitch. They're able to get downhill and get those positive yards.
Clock winds to 3 minutes now to go. 2nd and 9. We get no more timeouts for Pleasant Grove. And a flag flies. And that's delay a game on the Knights. No play clock down on the field, as you mentioned a couple times tonight. So you have to go off what the back judge is calling here.
And look, if you have an experienced quarterback that's played football for 15, 20 years, sure, that's fine. High school level, it gets a little more dicey. And especially with coaches where they're worrying about so many things at once, these situations are bound to happen. I'm not trying to excuse anything, but it's one of those factors that oftentimes we don't think about when we're watching at home on the couch.
So 2:51, clock stops with a penalty here. 2nd and 14. Run near side. Murphy gets stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Clock will wind. No gain on the play. 3rd down upcoming.
I think more importantly for Northridge, that clock is now below 3 minutes and continuing to tick.
They're one more first down away from closing this thing out.
I think that's one of those evolutions that we've seen recently in football. You saw the Bengals playing on Thursday night, and T. Higgins had a touchdown, actually went down because he knew it was more important to get the clock. And I don't know, for people watching at home, that may have been a $10,000 decision based on what his contract says.
Probably hurt a couple people's fantasy teams as well.
Not gonna complain live on the broadcast. Nobody wants to hear my fantasy woes.
3rd down here as Murphy rolls to his left, throws far side, incomplete, and that kind of stirs the pot a little bit.
It makes it interesting. We'll say it that direction, right? And I think that's part of the journey that is playing with high school players. And I'll quote Gordy Chiesa, you want to hug your point guards. You also want to hug your quarterbacks because they got a lot on their plate. These are young men trying to figure things out. And so realistically, he's thinking, I just want to throw this away. The coach is probably on the sidelines thinking, no, just get down, get out of bounds, whatever it takes to keep that clock moving.
So Northridge will use their second timeout to go over what to do here. 1:58 to go. It's 4th and long now for Northridge. They do have that pooch punt at their disposal. Grant Slater has been able to do that once already in this game.
He can get it to the end zone from here.
I say, you could go for the field goal to go up 3 scores.
And this is where these decisions are actually difficult, right? Like, I think everybody watching home just assumes, oh, I just do this, I do that. There's a lot of thought process. If you do make the field goal, now all of a sudden, like, that puts it in a 3-possession game. That really makes it hard on Pleasant Grove to mount any kind of comeback. But if something goes wrong, you could give them an opportunity to score right away. And
the kicking unit's out there. And as it stands, Riker Horn would go for a 51-yard field goal. This would be his career long if he can make it.
Yeah, and I have no insider information, but based on the sound that his foot made last time when he connected with the football, I think he's got the leg. I'm a little surprised Pleasant Grove doesn't have somebody back to maybe field this.
So Horn from 51 yards to make it a 3-score game. Kicks high. Does it have enough? It's short. No good with 1:53 left to go in the game. And Pleasant Grove gets one more shot to try and mount a comeback here.
And that was the kick that they needed on the previous attempt. Just not quite enough leg to get it there on that one.
Had the accuracy, just didn't have the distance that time.
It was definitely online, and now Pleasant Grove will take over. You got 1:53 left on the clock. So this is the interesting part about high school rules, because it goes in the end zone and actually
you get it at the 20. So it does give a little bit of distance to it, but 1st and 10 at the 20 here for the Vikings. Ybarra back in at quarterback, throws over the middle, it's caught. And out goes Brighton Balser past the 30. Clock stops to move the chains. 1:45 to go.
With the reception and enough yardage for another
Clock will
Vikings.
start now. 1st and 10. Vikings have to move. Fake the handoff. Ybarra with plenty of time. Now checks it down, and he's going to be taken down right at the line of scrimmage. That's by number 8, Jack Hall, the linebacker, with the tackle.
Absolutely fantastic tackle by Jack Hall. Now Pleasant Grove up and ready to go quickly. You've got to play with the tempo now.
They've got 4 wideouts on the right side. Is for Ybarra. Stays in the pocket, throws over the middle. It's caught over the middle. That one's Rocky Wilcox. That stops the clock with 1:09 to go.
Viking first down at the
Clock now runs. Ybarra with time, running out of time. Stays in it and throws an incomplete pass as he took a shot. There
Rocky Wilcox, the intended
by Jack
receiver.
Hall. He was able to get back in there. 59.3 to go.
And Jack Hall, just a sophomore, but he's been around the football a lot tonight. Done a really good job. Lays the wood there on Ybarra. You see him get up, try to make sure everything's still intact.
2nd and 10. New quarterback in as that one stays in bounds, but it's a first down. They roll it down at the 40. Clock stops at 54.2 to go.
With the reception and enough yardage for another
They move the
Vikings.
chains. Clock will restart here.
And this is going to be problematic with a new quarterback, because that clock is going to tick down a lot on this play. Think about clocking that one in terms of spiking the football.
45 seconds to go. Stanley in at quarterback. Throws over the middle. Almost intercepted. Getting in the passing lane.
Adam Wright,
Number 50 for the Knights.
receiver.
And you like
Second down.
now Stanley up and ready to go. Now they don't need to hurry so much because the clock is stopped.
41 seconds to go in this one. No timeouts for the Vikings as they go for it on 2nd down. Throw over the middle. Fingertips and intercepted. Sliding down and making the catch, Kyle Rawlings, and that will do it. As the Northridge Knights, the defense with 5 turnovers in the game, they punch their ticket to the 2nd round.
I don't know if Kyle Rawlings is a statistics guy, but he understands the percentages are high on tip balls. manages to snag an interception on that one and seal the victory for the Northridge Knights tonight as they will advance here at Pleasant Grove into the second round.
2 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries in the game tonight for the Northridge defense, as they are 1 knee away from claiming this victory. As they take the knee, the clock will wind down. That will be the game. As the Northridge Knights punch their ticket to the second round, they beat the Pleasant Grove Vikings 21-7, the final score here tonight.
Yeah, just an outstanding effort on both sides of the ball. It was a special teams touchdown from Dante Dyson that got it started. That Northridge defense stepped up after that, didn't allow another score for the rest of the game. And the offense with the explosive plays both times from deep in their own territory notches the victory for Northridge.
So the Knights move on. Second straight season with a win in the playoffs. They move to the second round, where they will face the top-ranked West Panthers up in Salt Lake next Friday night.
And that's a tomorrow problem for the Northridge Knights. West is an incredibly talented team. They played outstanding all year long. But if you're Northridge, tonight is all about celebrating the sweet taste of victory. However they want to celebrate it, these kids should be very, very proud of themselves. Hard-fought effort. On the flip side, I always try to point this out. This is the last game for some of these seniors, for all these seniors out here for Pleasant Grove. It never feels good to go out on a loss, but they can keep their heads held high for the effort and the fight and the competitiveness from today.
Time to hand out some helmet stickers, Brian. It's brought to you by Tab Bank, as it always is this season here on KSL Sports Rewind. Who gets your helmet sticker tonight?
There are a lot of options, and I think we may have overlooked how well that defense has played tonight, but I think you got to give it, for me, I got to give it to the Makai Soho. That touchdown pass, when I say he was under duress, I thought it was going to be a disaster, and he took chicken stuff and turned it into a touchdown. So great job on that one. The 95-yard screen pass reception that he took all the way for the score. That gets my helmet sticker for the day.
Mine's going to go to the other big performer, Dante Dyson. Had the 95-yard kick return for a touchdown and a 73-yard reception for a touchdown. Had 2 big plays that put Northridge up in the first place. So Dyson will get my helmet sticker for it tonight.
Yeah, and 2 players that go both ways, right? So had the interception. Dyson in coverage on multiple plays as well. It's an outstanding effort by both of those young men.
Final thoughts before we sign off, Brian.
Hey, these are always great football games. This one, I think we were a little bit nervous early on. Were we going to get an actual football game out of it or just trade punts? And you saw the explosive plays happen, and that just ignited what was a great night of football. And again, high school football in this state is so special. It's so good. Even for some of these teams that some people would consider mid-tier, they put the practice and the time in, and so proud of both of these schools. I hope that the people in the communities are proud of those young men for what they were able to do. And as always, my heart goes out to those seniors who are playing in their last game tonight. Because when football is over, there is nothing that replaces it.
So that will end the season for the Pleasant Grove Vikings. They finished the year 4-7 on the year. Northridge improves to 5-6, and they will move on to the second round. They face top-seeded West next Friday on Halloween, as we'll have the second round of the 5A state football playoffs next Friday. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight's broadcast. Be sure to tune in next Friday for the second round of the 5A and 6A state football playoffs. Be sure to check KSLSports.com for your streaming schedule and on the KSL Sports app to find out where we'll be next week. It should be a great time as we whittle things down on the road to Rice-Eccles as we get into week 2 of the high school football playoff season. 21-7, the final score. Northridge moves on to the 5A state football playoffs. For Brian behind the camera, for Brian to my left, I'm Matt Coma signing off tonight. Final score 21-7. You've been watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. We will see you next week for round 2 of the high school football playoffs.